Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really focusing in on a skill that's vital for so many people, becoming a good English speaker.
Right, regardless of your field,
Yeah,
science, business, tech, art.
exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe you're listening because you want to communicate better for studies, or maybe for your career, or just personal growth.
Yeah, lots of reasons.
And the core message we've pulled from our sources today is really about clarity, confidence, and consistency. It's not necessarily about having a perfect accent or knowing tons of complex words.
Absolutely. It's more achievable than people often think.
Yeah.
Our sources suggest some, well, really practical ways to approach it. Less about chasing perfection, more about smart learning.
Okay, so let's unpack that. One of the big takeaways seems to be tailoring your English learning specifically to your field.
Yes, so if you're in science, read science textbooks, watch documentaries in English, follow science communicators online.
And if you're in business,
Same idea. Listen to business podcasts, maybe TED Talks with subtitles on. The point is surrounding yourself with the language you actually need to use.
it builds that specific vocabulary and context, doesn't it?
Precisely. You're building the right English muscles for what you do. It's much more efficient.
We saw that example, didn't we? The mechanical engineer.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting. He apparently just started watching technical tutorials in English.
And talking himself through things.
Yeah, narrating what he was doing or learning, but in simple English. And within, 6 months, his speaking really improved.
Shows how powerful that relevance is.
Definitely. And building on that, another thing our sources really hammer home is daily speaking practice.
Seems basic, but crucial.
Totally. Just talking about your day, explaining something you learned, even just talking to yourself out loud.
It actually trains your brain to think and form thoughts in English,
Yeah.
right? Instead of constantly translating.
Exactly. You've got to put in the reps like any skill.
There was that specific tip, too, about speaking in front of a mirror.
Just for 2 minutes a day. It sounds maybe a bit weird.
A little awkward, maybe.
Yeah, but it helps you get comfortable with seeing yourself speak English, builds that physical confidence in delivery.
And I guess that ties into the whole idea of trying to think in English more directly.
It does, that constant mental translation from your native language to English and back again. It really slows you down, creates a bottleneck.
Makes sense. So the advice is to practice simple thoughts in English.
Yeah, just small things throughout the day. Instead of translating, I need to make tea, just think, I'm going to make tea.
Or I need to complete this assignment. Little shifts.
They add up, and this naturally leads to another key point. Embracing mistakes.
Ah, yes, the fear factor. It's huge for language learners.
So common. But the sources are really clear. Mistakes are, well, they're normal. They're part of learning.
Even native speakers make mistakes all the time. Grammatical slip-ups, wrong words.
Exactly. So see them as learning opportunities, really, not as failures.
Good mindset shift.
Okay.
Okay, what else? Communities.
Right. Joining communities is another big one. Finding study groups, maybe online platforms like Reddit or Discord, where there are channels for English learners.
Practicing through voice chats or finding like an English corner.
It gives you that real-world practice in a, hopefully, supportive space. You hear different accents, different ways of speaking.
And it makes it less isolating, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. You learn from others, too.
And of course, we can't forget technology these days.
No way. There are tons of tools. Apps like Duolingo, Hello Talk were mentioned. They offer interactive ways to learn and practice.
And AI tools are getting pretty good too, right? For practice conversations.
They can be really helpful, yeah, offering practice partners, feedback. Technology gives you accessible, often personalized ways to keep practicing consistently.
So finding what works for you and making it regular.
That's the core of it.
Okay, so if we were to sort of wrap this up,
Yeah.
the main message seems to be focus on making progress, not being perfect.
Exactly. Progress over perfection.
Practice speaking every day. Immerse yourself in English that's actually relevant to you.
Use the tools and communities available.
And just be patient with yourself through it all. It takes time.
It really does. It reminds me of that Nelson Mandela quote.
Which one?
If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart.
Powerful.
And English, being such a global connector language now, it really opens doors to connect with people on that deeper level, from all over the world.
A really important skill for understanding and connection.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, if you found this deep dive useful, please do share it with anyone else you think might benefit.
Yeah, pass it along.
And feel free to reach out with questions. You can find us on our socials or via email.
Keep at it, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep growing those connections.